Scripture reading this morning comes to us from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 15, verses 33 through 39. Listen to the Word of God. When it was noon, darkness came over the whole land until 3 in the afternoon. At 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, Eloi, Eloi, lima sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? When some of the bystanders heard it, they said, listen, he's calling for Elijah. And someone ran, filled a sponge with sour wine, put it on a stick, and gave it to him to drink, saying, wait, let us see whether Elijah will come to take him down. Then Jesus gave a loud cry and breathed his last. And the curtain of the temple was torn in two, from top to bottom. Now when the centurion who stood facing him saw that in this way he breathed his last, he said, truly, this man was God's son. And now may the same God who inspired these words incline our hearts and our minds to their understanding. Pray with me. Lord, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of all our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock, our Redeemer. Amen. My God, why have you forsaken me? It is a cry of lament. It is a cry of lament in the face of death. As Luke Powery puts it, if you can't cry in the face of death, when can you cry? It's a cry of abandonment. It's a cry of forsakenness. And in other, more contemporary hip-hop kind of words, OMG WTF. Only with real tears. Now I know the letters of that contemporary phrase might be offensive to some, might make you uncomfortable. But you know, the cross should make us uncomfortable. The cross was offensive. At the very least, the Apostle Paul says it was foolishness. And of course, the reality is we don't really want to hear this cry of lament on the lips of our Lord. Even if he is quoting the writer of Psalm 22 from centuries before. We're often uncomfortable with laments of others, but especially, I think, with the lament of Jesus. Most of us love the praises, right? We love the quartet. We love the praise team. We love the hymns. Great is thy faithfulness. We love the top of the mountain. But we have a hard time with the steep side, with getting there, with the effort it takes to get here to hear praises. We love the praises, though, and all of its joy. I mean, that's what we come to church for, right? We come to get our feel-good going on again. Because we have a hard time with the rough times, with listening to the laments of others. We like smooth sailing. Well, okay, at least I do. And so there seems to be this gap. No, it's probably a void that develops between our preferences and our comfort levels and the cry of abandonment from those in the midst of unimaginable pain. I mean, what happens really when the praises go up and the cancer comes down? What do you do when the praises go up and the depression comes down and takes up residence in our lives without paying rent? What do you do when the praises go up and you lose a long friendship? What do you do when the praises go up and you you lose your job? What do you do when the praises go up and your teenage son commits suicide, or your mother does, or your dad does, or a friend does? What do you do when the praises go up and you hear Jesus shouting, my God, why have you forsaken me? What do you do when you come to church looking for the feel good to come back, and you get Good Friday? Pastor Bob, don't you know? You're only supposed to do Good Friday once a year. Well, yeah, I know. But the reality is, lots of you don't get Good Friday once a year because you're on vacation. It's Easter vacation after all, right? Not Holy Week. Which again, on many levels, is all about the feel-good thing that we want. The praises. Because, like Jimmy Buffett says, we do have a license to chill. We don't like this story of a bloody Jesus crying out, my God, why have you forsaken me? How in God's name can you call it Good Friday? Good is Easter, not Friday. Friday's the cross. Friday is dark, it is hard, and it's harsh. But here is the thing, good people of God. This cry on the cross is really our cry. It's our God crying out for all of us who have ever felt forsaken in the midst of unimaginable pain. It's a cry for all of us who have ever asked why. Why do innocent men, women, and children die, gunned down, killed, or wounded for no good earthly or heavenly reason? This cry is the cry of the world that we live in. A world that Elizabeth Alexander calls in her new book, the Trayvon generation. It is the loud cry in the shrieks, the cries of teenagers like Trayvon in that 911 call from Stanford, Florida in February of 2012 that I would wager many of us have just forgotten about. So listen again, or for the first time.
Do you need police, fire, medical?
Maybe both. I'm not sure. There's just someone screaming outside.
Okay. And is it a male or female?
It sounds like a male.
Okay. And you don't know why?
I don't know why. I think they're yelling help, but I don't know. Just send someone quick. Say stop.
Okay. Does he look hurt?
I can't see him. I don't want to go out there. I don't know what's going on. So they're sending.
So you think he's yelling help?
Yes.
All right. What is your phone number?
There's gunshots.
You just heard gunshots?
Yes.
Help! Help! My God, why have you forsaken me? Help! Why? Why this modern-day crucifixion of a young African-American male who was living with his mother in Miami Gardens, Florida? Help! A loud cry, but no one would help. Help! Shot to death because he wore a hoodie. Help! Shot to death because he had a can of Arizona watermelon fruit juice cocktail and some Skittles in his pocket. Help! Help! My God, why have Trayvon Williams was crucified in Golgotha, Florida. Golgotha, just outside the city gates of Orlando, and the land of Cinderella's castle and Mickey Mouse and all the feel-good happy things. Golgotha, outside the city walls, outside the fringes, away from the lifestyles of the rich and famous, away from the hustle and the bustle of the social and religious and economic center of power, Jerusalem. Away from comfort zones, away from Onondaga Hill and our comfortable homes. And it is a cry on a 911 call that proclaims there is a problem with our religious and political legal systems. It is a cry that came from Trayvon's mother and many other mothers and fathers and children and loved ones and friends who were left behind after such terrible events. It's a cry that says life is not right. But something is wrong with the state of affairs. And it is no different than the cry of Jesus from the cross. Jesus is silenced, put to death because he stands for another religious and political order as the Messiah and King. And in that cry, he critiques the norm. But when he cries and dies, everything changes. As one writer puts it, the voice that was raised outside the city center bounces back to the center city and rips the temple curtain in two from top to bottom, and the way church had been done was totally undone. And a new era begins. The cry ripped the curtain in two. But I think it also ripped the veil from our eyes, so that with that centurion, we too can look at Jesus and say, truly, this was the Son of God. Truly, there is another way. So, good people of God, we dare not underestimate our cries, because they create new possibilities, new ways of life. They create new ways to love, new ways to witness to the way God means us to love, and not bully others. We dare not underestimate our cries, good people of God. Cries ended slavery. Cries gave women the right to vote. Cries gave our denomination the privilege and the joy to marry anyone who is in love. Good people of God, we cannot keep our cries in our homes any longer. We cannot keep our cries among those who are just like us. We cannot keep our cries on this hill. We have to take them to our center city. And we dare not blow that off, folks. We dare not leave this place again and leave this cry unuttered. And we dare not think that that cry, help, help, is someone else's to take care of. We dare not think that we are too busy to do something that really matters. And honestly, we don't need to stand at a rally downtown in front of City Hall and cry out for justice and demand laws to change, although we could. We don't need to sign a petition or write to Congress or even the president and demand more stringent gun control, although we could. We don't need to read more articles or books or watch more videos about the Brady Faith Center or the Homeboys Industries and what they are doing across the country to get guns off the street and the hands that hold them, those people, into rehabilitation programs and educational programs and give them other resources so that they can live a life filled with hope and learn to love with compassion. Although, we could read more articles and books, and we certainly need to watch the videos about the Homeboys Industries. Google it up. You'll go right to it. And also, I think what you should do is to come with me. Come with me to the Brady Market down on Gifford Street, on the fringes to Golgotha. Come with me. Come with me to that market that Kevin Frank talked about months ago when he spoke from this sacred desk. Come with me and volunteer. Volunteer in that predominantly black neighborhood that is a food and transportation desert right down the hill from us. And volunteer. Once a week, twice a week, once a month, twice a month. Ask Kevin how you can help. We'll ask him how we can help. Volunteer. Stock shelves. Unload trucks. Talk to people like my new friend, Zakeem Rutledge. Everybody say hi, Zakeem. Hi, Zakeem. Zakeem Rutledge. You know, on almost any day in the U.S., there's been a mass shooting, which is defined by the Gun Violence Archive as a shooting where 4 or more people, not including the shooter, are killed. As of Tuesday morning, when I sat down to write this sermon, 429 mass shootings have occurred in the United States alone, in this year alone. As of last night at 11 p.m., the number rose to 441. This morning, it was 442. And that's just mass shootings. But you know, we often hear the numbers, and sometimes we even read the names in the paper. But it is not until you know their stories of the victims and the survivors. It's not until you know those stories that we can be transformed. And part of that transformation is that those victims, those survivors, whose stories we now know are no longer victims. They're no longer survivors. They are ancestors. They are family. So, settle in. One story today that just might transform you the way it transformed me. Please welcome Zakeem Rutledge to tell his story to you. Welcome him, good people. My new friend. I want him to be yours.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
name is Akeem Rutledge, which y'all know. I grew up on the southwest side community of Syracuse, New York. I'm a Brady child. I've been going to the Brady Faith Center since I was little. And I went through life, growing up a single parent, single mother. And at a young age, my teenage years, she got into 3 bus accidents, in which I had to become a young man at a young age and to take care of my mother, with bills and stuff. And it was hard to get a job, so had to go into survival mode and reached out to the streets, and there was drugs, easy opportunity to make money. Then and there, that changed my life in a way. I saw my older cousins do it and going in and out of prison, which I didn't. I went a different way and, not try to get caught, but do it smarter. But still, the universe has its ways. And what kept me focused was school. Knowing my cousins was going to school, dropping out, my mom, it was just, I gotta break the cycle. So I graduated high school, second to graduate, but I was the first to go to college. And college is what changed my life. But also a big part of that was the Brady Faith Center, because I stopped going due to the fact of how my peers look at me. Oh, he in the streets, but he go to church. Roughly, I started back going because I needed God. And to go in this path, I need him with me. And my first semester of college was beautiful. And the atmosphere, the people, that's just where I wanted to be, to change the future, change the cycle of my family, and motivate my little cousins. Because I didn't have no positive role model. I had negative. But I learned from that this is not what I want. This is where I want to go. And my second semester, now my older cousins is going to college. So now I got them motivated to go to college. And March 19, 2012, in the middle of my second semester, my life changed. That day I got my refund check. The first one I messed up from the first semester, but the second one, I'm like, I know what to do. I invested in myself, got mad art supplies that I needed, and then later on that night, I was thinking I'm gonna get a car the next day to make it to school, because I was catching the bus commuting. So I went to play basketball at the Southwest Community Center right across the street from the Brady Faith Center. And I came out to Southwest Center after playing basketball, and the cops was at my cousin's car, in which I'm asking them, is everything okay? Really, I want to know where my cousin at. And they like, do you know who car this is? And I'm like, yes, it's my cousin's car. Do you know where he is? And I'm like, nah, I was gonna ask y'all the same, do y'all know where he is? And they like, nah, can you come here for a second? And I'm like, for what? And the cop said, just come here for a second. So I came over towards the car, and one of the cops, it was a good cop, bad cop thing, and the bad cop was like, put your hands on the car. And I'm like, for what, sir? I didn't do nothing wrong. He had just put your hands on the car. So I put my hands on the car, and he's like, before I search you, do you have anything illegal in your pocket? So I'm like, yes, a little bag of weed. And he like, which pocket? I reach out the pocket, he said, don't move. What pocket is it? I said, the little pocket. He got it, and then gave me a weed ticket. So I went to my cousin's house up the street, which is Brady Faith Center, parking lot, a restaurant, to my cousin's house. So it's all in the same area on South Ave. And talking to my little cousin, who is the same age as me, but I'm 6 months older. And we just talking for a little minute, but me, my mind is just devastated that I just got pulled over, wrongfully, and I'm like, that was wrong. So normally I take walks, and my cousin went in the house, he like, I'll be right back out. But something in me like, I gotta walk. I gotta get this off my mind because it's messing with my feelings. So I went to take the walk. and going to a corner store. A car came by shooting at somebody, shot me, paralyzed me from the waist down. I heard the gunshots. I went to run, but roughly, I fell to the ground. I had my phone in my hand and I dropped my phone and caught myself so my face wouldn't hit the sidewalk. I'm on the ground and I'm about to start panicking. I'm like, I'm shot. I know I'm shot. I don't want to die. Please, Lord, I don't want to die. So I said, open my eyes. I opened my eyes. Grabbed my phone. Called 911. Help, I'm shot. What is your name, sir? My name is Akeem Rutledge. Can you come get me? I'm on Bellevue in South Ave. How old are you? Ma'am, that don't matter right now. I'm shot. Please come get me. But I'm 20 years old. I'm right by the dumpster on South Ave in Bellevue, right behind Head Start School. Sir, calm down. Ma'am, I'm calm as possible. So people started running up. The person they were shooting at ran up. Like, get up. Like, I can't feel my legs. I'm going to get help. She on the phone. Where are you? I just told you that, man. Twice. So now other folks running up. My neighborhood sister, she's crying. And we was close. So that's family to me. So now I'm seeing a family member cry and panic. I'm about to start panicking. I pass her the phone. Just get away. I gotta stay calm. For some reason, something just tells me to stay calm. Other people running up, crying, telling them it's gonna be okay. I'm good. And I'm huddled up, holding myself tight. Don't know where I'm shot at, but I'm just holding myself. And everybody crying. Stop crying, wipe my tears, I'm gonna be good. I kept repeating that. So it took about 15 minutes for the ambulance to come. My cousin pulled up. He like, who's that? They're like, it's your cousin. He started panicking. The house was right down the street, so he got out the car and ran to the house. But his girlfriend that he was dealing with at the time got out the car and sat on the ground with me. Put my head on her leg and said, you gonna be good? And I said, yes, but I can't keep talking. I gotta breathe. So I'm gonna keep blinking for you. Keep blinking my eyes. And those blinks started getting longer. Close them. Open them. Hear the ambulance. Close them. Open them. See the ambulance. Close them. Open them. The ambulance pull it in. Close them. Open them. They cutting up my clothes. Closing my eyes to open them and hear my mom. No, that's my baby. No. To me, getting up. She can't see me like this. Please, get her out. Please, she can't see me like this. No, I don't want her to see me like this. So I started panicking. Like, man, we gotta get out of the car. That's my son. That's my baby. My only child. No. I'm like, please, whatever you do, sir, get her out. So she got out of the ambulance. And the lady, what's going on, man? She's like, that's my son. Get in my car. We're gonna beat the ambulance to the hospital. Get to the hospital. In the ER, surgery. Wake up, see the lights on me, they put me back out. Woke up the next day, thinking it's all a dream. I can't feel my legs. Can't play basketball. Don't have kids. So I don't know if I can reproduce. My life over. I give up. I don't care. I want to retaliate. Eye for an eye. They took something from me that I couldn't get back at the moment. With my cousins, my mom and them by my bedside, it's gonna be okay. You got a second chance at living. Most people don't come back. You got a second chance at living. I don't want to hear that. Can y'all leave me alone and get out my room? Took my medicine, fall asleep, first day. Second day, same routine, praying. People calling my cousin's phone. People want to talk to you. People at the Southwest Center. Hello? It's a basketball coach. What's up? How are you? I'm not doing well. I can't play basketball no more. More tears. You can't play basketball. You're gonna walk again. Stop saying that. It's over. Hang up the phone. I don't want to talk. Another phone call. My friends. Keem, what you want us to do? Let's go. We're gonna go back over there. Everybody's saying, let's go back over there. For you. I don't know about that. Give me a couple days to think about it. Third day. Medicine. Fall asleep. Wake up. Praying over me. Felt it. Alright, I need to be alone. Can y'all get out of my room? And there wasn't no pushing them out. It was, I just need to be alone to gather my thoughts. Think about where I am in life. Think about what's the next step. They left my room. Now I prayed again. But this prayer was a thank you that I'm alive. And accepting the fact that I'm going to be paralyzed. I accepted it. I got a warm feeling through my body. Something say, look out the window. I look out the window, it's 2 moons. 20 years of living, I know it's 1 moon. You know, this particular night is 2 moons. Now it ain't the drugs, and it ain't the hospital windows, because I know I see it. It's 1 moon every other night. It ain't the drugs, because even if I wake up, it's still 1 moon. That particular night was 2 moons. I said, thank you, God, thank you. I'm an artist, so I pick up symbolism, and that's a sign. Thank you. Another warm feeling came through my body. I had compression pumps on my legs, which I won't get blood clots because I couldn't move them. Well, them compression pumps was irritating me. I started kicking. Get off. Oh, I can move my legs. I started pushing that buzzer. Nurse is coming in. Are you okay? I'm like, I'm okay. I can move my legs. Good, that's a good sign. Maybe you go to physical therapy. 4th day, same routine. Breakfast, medicine. Took my digestive medicine, but I didn't want the painkillers. Give me my walker. Take this medicine if you're in pain. I don't want that medicine. Give me my walker. Okay, sir. So for me to sit up, I had to wear a body cast from here to my waist. I roll over, put the back on, turn back over, put the top on, and strap it up so my spinal cord could stay straight. I got up. It was tough, but I got up. I walked to the door. He said, are you tired? Do you want to turn around? I said, no. In my head, if I go back, that's moving backwards. I'm moving forward. I look at the hallway. That's the short way, that's the long way. Which way y'all think I took? I took the long way. Walked all the way to them double doors, took a rest on the walker, walked back to the room. Here go another phone call. It was Akeem. What's your thoughts, man? Do you want us to go back over there and retaliate? No. When I get out of this hospital and I rehabilitate, I got a whole new plan for us. A whole new agenda. No need to go retaliate. Because at the end of the day, we retaliate, it's going to come back. It's going to be back and forth and back and forth. No, change this cycle right here. Now my friends like, yo, you for real? You crazy. Like, if I'd have got shot, I would have went to retaliate. And I'm like, but I ain't you. But by y'all being my friend, just listen to me. I got a new plan for us. All right, whatever you say. So later on that day, the nurses and them went downstairs. The 2nd floor wasn't secure as it is on the top floors. So for my safety and also to rehabilitate, they sent me to Rochester, New York, Strong Memorial Hospital, in which there I learned physical therapy, occupational therapy, got myself right, come home to another way. The praises went up, like he said. Depression came through. Now I'm with the walker in the wheelchair around the house. If I wanted to also get around the house quick, I might have crawled. But to hearing basketball outside, to hearing laughing, and I can't join right then and there, depression hit. doors, lights out, dark room, dark windows, well, dark curtains dark, so no sunlight. Every day my cousin come in, you need sunlight, God's light in here. I don't need that. She leave, I close them. My cousin brought my art stuff. I'm looking at it. I don't want to do art. My other cousin brought our studio equipment. The music just sitting here. I hear arguing with my family. Something say, I'm the one who's gonna stop that, but I can't go out there. So I put on my headphones to block them out. That night I wrote 14 songs. The next day I recorded all 14 of them songs. The third day I edited all them songs. Now I got a little CD. But that helped me got through my depression. I'm doing outpatient back and forth, and Father John Schauffer, who's the pastor at the Brady Faith Center, he brought Kevin by. Now I just left physical therapy, and I come right home and I start working out. I gotta get on my feet, for real, for real. Still working out. I met him, and he like, how are you? What's your name? I'm like, it's King Roberts. What's your name? Like, Kevin Frank. I'm gonna be joining the Brady Faith Center. You know, I'm going to St. Lucy's, a sister church of the Brady Faith Center. I knew Father John for a minute, and and so on, and we was just talking. He like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm working out. I gotta get back on my feet. Oh, word. Father John, we came earlier, but you wasn't here. You was at physical therapy. Now you home, still working out? I'm like, yeah. Like, man, that's amazing. Yeah, y'all heard him because he got that laugh. I can impress him very well. But ever since then, we got like that. And me going to tell my stories, it's no problem. But the first time me telling my story, a part of that was like, would you mind telling your story? And I'm like, I don't mind. He like, you just amaze me. Here I am coming to your house to preach to you and teach you. You preached to me and you taught me. I want you to do that same for others. How do you feel about the situation of the people shooting? I forgive them. You did? Yes. I accepted it. I went through the phases. I forgave them. So he set up a thing with News Channel 9 to come to the Brady Faith Center Church for me to tell a little bit of my story, but also to reach out to the shooter. I don't know who you are, but I forgive you. We all humans, we make mistakes. God's gonna handle that in his way. Because I could have taken my way, but God would have brought something back to me. How the universe works. So, it's Brady Breakfast, every year, annual breakfast, and I'm thinking I'm gonna talk to a normal set like this. Well, roughly we're at the Cathedral Church downtown, and I'm sitting down up front. So I say, look back, I look back. I'm like, all right, not that much people. I look back again. It's like all the seats is full. Now I'm like, how do you do this? Like, hold on. And Kevin, you know, Father John did his thing, and Kevin did some of the homily and introduced me. Like Pastor Bob did, you know, warm welcome. And I got on stage and I was kind of nervous. Not kind of, I was nervous. So, in my younger days, I performed in little concerts, and even though those was like crowd of people, so I went back into the mindset of that, of people in this section, people in this section. Pastor Bob right there, I met him one-on-one, so I'm talking to him, he's my vocal point. That way when I look at this section, I'm not nervous. I look over here, there's my cousin, another vocal point, but my face is facing everybody. But that was then. Now I can look at everybody and not be nervous. But I went from a walker to a wheelchair, to a four-legged prom cane, to a regular cane, to no cane. Other than that, I wear a prosthetic brace because at times my right foot dropped. But I'm still here. I'm walking again. And basketball, I still got my shot, but I can't move how I used to, but I still play. And in the sense of playing, even though I'm not on the court, I'm on the court because I got knowledge in basketball. And it's the younger generation who play. And that knowledge is the ball. I can pass it. That's playing basketball. The hardest part was to forgive them. My life. I gotta live. In the blink of an eye, it changed. To going through all them different stages of grief, to forgiving them was a hard process. But I didn't forgive them for them. I forgave them for me. So I can move forward in life. I can't dwell on it. It happened. It was 10 years ago. It happened. I got through the hard part, the rough patches, to move forward. Now I am a part of the management team at Brady Faith Center, Brady Market. 2015, I volunteered at the Brady Faith Center to drive a van, pick people up from Mass. Got on payroll close to 2016. 2017, the maintenance guy retired, so I became maintenance and van driver. The end of 2017-ish, I became the youngest board member at the Brady Faith Center. So part of that story is forgiveness. From a wheelchair to a board chair. And in 2018 and 2019, me and Kevin and others from the Brady Faith Center went to Los Angeles, California to visit a model called Homeboy Industries. And I ain't gonna get into much of that because I know Kevin talked about it. But what I got from there was the love that they had for one another. To hearing people, rivals, blood in the crib, shooting at each other every day, fighting every day, to mopping the same floor together and teaching the youth. Now growing up, you don't see nothing like that. But them two is like this, and that's love. So that's one thing I wanted to bring back to Syracuse. So we opened the Brady Market. We got Brady Farm, Stone Soup Garden, Brady Faith Center, and the market. But in this market, under one roof, we're gonna do something that's not done here in Syracuse, only they do in LA. What we gonna do here in Syracuse, but our way. And mine is love. Because I know what it's like to go through things and feel alone. When I got shot, I reached out to people before me. How did you get through it? Windows and doors shut in my face, so I had to deal with it alone. I wouldn't want nobody to go through that. So I'm changing the cycle. Not to wish bad on people, but cycles happen. Whoever gets shot after me, them doors and windows open. You're not gonna go through it alone. I was a victim, survivor. Leave it up to Bob, not a survivor, ancestor. Now I'm here sending this message to y'all and to teach people that no matter what it is you go through in life, family problem, financial problem, natural disaster, traumatic injury, you gotta pick yourself back up and keep moving forward. Thank you.
Come with me to Brady Market. And let's lend a hand. Let's be hands and feet to help Kevin as he answers the cries for help. Help. Right down the hill. If you want to come with me, when you want to come with me, send me an email. And we'll share the love.
wanted to say one word. Wow. Very good.
Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for this survivor of gun violence, for his call to us to go a different way, to move in ways that we have not moved before, to the end that love will win. I pray in your name. Would you join me in